NBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What is up, my party people? Happy Thursday to you. Got a special edition of Q&A coming to you live tonight as we are in the studio for the last time. Okay, we will be here, not last time, last show. Okay, we might be here for an announcement, commitment announcement for Christopher Jones on Sunday. We might be in the new studio. It all depends on whether or not artwork gets here in time, all that good stuff. But we're probably going to end up being here. But nonetheless, this is our final kind of just hang out with the boys Q&A type format show. And for a long time, we've been very, very laid back here. It's gotten much more formal in the sense that, you know, not the wardrobe. The wardrobe will never get formal, but it's gotten much more formal in the sense that we got segments and we're very professional nowadays. Used to it was not. Used to it was very much so hang out with Brooks as he kind of just stumbles and fumbles and bumbles through all of his stuff and his takes that he thinks he's passionate about, but he hasn't really cultivated yet. He hasn't really birthed them yet. They haven't really gotten to completion, if you will. Not that I've perfected my craft or anything, but I think we've certainly gotten better. When I go back and watch my old self, I'm like, God, that guy's not very good, or at least I'm much better now. And I hope Jamie Goodman said it best to me the other day. He goes, man, you better say that about yourself now, 3 years from now. You know what I mean? You better look back at yourself 3 years from now or 3 years from now and say, damn, that guy 3 years ago, not very good. I've gotten so much better because that's what life's all about. It's about improving. But now we got some other segments for you tonight. Like, hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. That PJ Fleck dude, tad bit of a weirdo. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Talk a little bit about the Fleck Bank. Colorado leaving the Pac-12 rather, for the Big 12. News announced today. So Deion Sanders not only not showing up to Pac-12 media days, but Colorado bailing on them. There's also some new reports coming out about some additional teams that may be bailing with them as well. And like I told you, we got a very specific set of Q&A tonight, as you can probably tell by not only the lack of numbers here, because it's not necessarily Georgia related, but the vibe of the questions in the chat. We're going non-football related questions today. I feel like the last couple of years, you guys have gotten to know football me, and that's fine. If we get that bored tonight, we can ask them. But ask me some non-football related questions. I want to give you the guys the opportunity to kind of pick my brain and find out a little bit more about me tonight on the episode. So we're going to talk football. We're going to talk dogs. We're going to talk all that stuff. We're also going to hang out and be friends tonight as well. So, hey man, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Keep it an absolute buck with you as producer Kirby's over there burning the midnight oil. Producer Kirby's still in the studio tonight, okay? He ain't necessarily working on show, but he in here burning the midnight oil. I can hear my man over there closing out a Zoom meeting is what it sounds like. But also, I hope y'all love the countdown because I just found out in pre-show we've been getting slapped with copyright claims on that sucker for a minute now. They just caught us today, I guess. So no more electric beat countdown. So I hope you got your fist pump in. If you didn't, go back and listen to it because that's probably going to be the last one on that. But PJ Fleck, weird dude. I'm going to tell you, everybody's played for a little bit of a PJ Fleck type of a football coach, okay? A football coach that requires really goofy, non-football related things to instill discipline. Okay, I'm talking about, most football coaches will do things like make you wear a suit on game days, make you wear a suit when we travel, make you dress alike. Hey, don't wear black socks, wear a white Sox football team. Hey, we wear this type of cleat. Hey, no jerseys over the back pad. We like to look alike, right? Most coaches are all about this. Most coaches might make you stand in meetings if you're prone to sleep, or might make you give 3 claps. Hey, give them 3. You know what I mean? You ever play for a give them 3 coach? I have. I played for a football coach that was a timeout coach. Every time I said timeout, you had to run over to him, right? Everybody stopped. Everybody run over to him. Timeout. You walk over, everybody go over there, right? Coach Robbie Ross, shout out. I've had coaches that did the no hat thing. I had a coach in college. He coaches at Savannah State now. I bet he's still doing it. Coach Sheldon Felton, or not Sheldon Felton, Coach Kelton. Coach Kelton had a no hats in the building policy. And if you walked into the CAF, or if you walked into class, or if you walked wherever in the building, had a hat on, confiscated the hat. You had to go down to his office and ask for the hat back. It's a very minor thing to instill discipline. I'm here to tell you most young men need discipline. So there's a lot of football coaches that do this. Some of this PJ Fleck stuff is far beyond take your hat off in the building. All right, no earrings or no jewelry. It's far beyond that, right? Some of this stuff is just flat out weird. Like making players clap when you walk into the room. That's weird. Making them memorize a notebook with over 20 different sayings and acronyms, that's weird. That's weird. They already got to know a playbook, coach. You're going to give them a 20-page pamphlet on your sayings? Weird. Okay? You making them respond with, Coach, I'm elite, instead of, Coach, I'm okay. When you ask them how they're doing, weird. I get it. We're trying to instill a great, proper mindset. I'm elite, coach. We get it. Weird. When you walk by your guys and go, hey, man, how we feeling today? And they say, Coach, I'm all right. To turn around and look at them and say, you're all right. No. At Minnesota, by God, we're elite. That's weird, bro. It's just flat out weird. All right. I'm not going to lie. Some of this stuff I like, but some of this stuff's just flat out weird, like the clapping stuff. Some of this is really, really good reporting. Dan Nickel, Minnesota's head football strength and conditioning coach, who followed Fleck over from Western Michigan and interned at Iowa under disgrace. I don't know why that's in there. That's just bull. We don't need to know that he was over there under Chris Doyle, the disrespected Iowa coach. Anyways, strength and conditioning coordinator, followed Fleck over from Western Michigan. Before the first day when Fleck walked in, has to teach the newcomers basically, hey, when coach walks in, we give a round of applause. We all clap in unison. Okay? That's kind of weird. Not really weird. I think not really weird would be like, hey, everybody stands up when coach walks in the room. That's weird. Really weird is we give coach round of applause when coach walks in the room. Extremely weird is requiring all of those things, and then when you walk in the room, if it's not done to your adequacy, like Fleck would do, he would walk out of the room, walk back into the room, make him redo it. That's weird, my boy. That's really, really weird. That's so weird it'll have former players thinking you're a cult, which is what's happened. If you ain't read the reportings today, there's some PJ Fleck's running a cult at Minnesota stuff, which I'm going to tell you, if the goal of the writing and the reporting was to get PJ Fleck fired, that ain't happening. This is just PJ Fleck is weird report, and like mega weird, like top 5 weird I've ever heard. Again, some of this stuff, I kind of like some of this stuff. Honestly, I kind of love some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is really, really good messaging. And we're all about the messaging. We're all about proper mindsets. We're all about speaking well, or proper mind talk, proper self-talk. We're all about all this stuff. I'm all about being a disciplined man. I've found this in my adult age. Being a disciplined man is very, very important. I like all this stuff. But by God, some of this stuff's weird. Some of it's just too much in these pamphlets. So again, some of this stuff's really, really good. Like the pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. I had a coach, Coach Dallas, used to preach about this all the time. It is a life lesson. There are 2 types of pain. There is the pain of discipline, meaning if I get up every day, I do what I'm supposed to do. That shit hurts sometimes, especially as a football player. It hurts to get up and go to weights. It hurts to go to rehab. It hurts to do the right thing. It hurts to do the last rep. It hurts. There is a pain in this discipline. It hurts to get up and not hit the snooze button. It physically, mentally hurts. There is a pain of discipline. And then there's a pain of regret. The feeling of regret when you knew you should have done something, didn't do it. There's a bunch of life lessons in this stuff. Like your how creates your who. If you're juiceless, you're useless. If you're juiceful, you're useful. I think it's a little corny. I think it's a little cheesy. But hey, we've talked about having unique, emphatic juice around this program all the time. We talk about how it's necessary. We talk about drinking absorbent amounts of coffee. You know why? Because by God, I want to have some friggin' juice. There is value in telling your players this. There is value in some of this stuff. These acronyms, weird as shit. Can't even lie. Having guys take tests on acronyms like HYPRR, How, yours, process, results, response. That don't make no damn sense. Think. Okay, we actually have a word. HYPRR is not a word. At least think is a word, and it's an actual acronym, which I'm pretty sure is the definition of acronym. Like the letters that you're putting together with other words have to make a word. HYPPR is not a word, so it doesn't work as an acronym. You're just making stuff up. Think is an actual word. Truthful, helpful, inspirational, necessary, and kind. I can understand why, if we're trying to develop a culture of good, outstanding men, this stuff is good. Fist. We're going to make a fist. Y'all going to meme that one. We're going to make a fist. Family. Invested. Same time. Keep it tight. That's literally what it says. They got this shit plastered on the buildings. Corny, cheesy, weird. Ain't gonna get you fired. Not gonna get you fired. Gonna make me think you're kind of weird. But guess what? I already did. I done met PJ Fleck. I done had my in-person eval on PJ Fleck. PJ Fleck got a butler, folks. He ain't a butler. He's an assistant coach. But PJ Fleck got a butler, fam. When PJ Fleck get done with his water, he ain't got to throw it away. He just hold that thing like that, and the little butler come by and pick it up. I saw this at the KSU Mega Camp. I go to the KSU Mega Camp every year. I'm the only media person there, and because I'm relieving or actually giving you this story, I might not be invited back. But PJ Fleck, seen the man. There's 150 freaking football coaches from NAIA all the way up to PJ Fleck in Minnesota. PJ Fleck walking around with a damn butler, a little do-boy, an assistant the entire time. PJ Fleck get off the phone, do-boy walk right up, take the phone. PJ Fleck phone ringing, do-boy walk right up, give him the phone. PJ Fleck watching a kid run a 40, do-boy right there, hitting the stopwatch for him. Shit you not. PJ Fleck got a butler, fam. PJ Fleck, weird dude. I didn't know he was making kids walk around with stuff like this, like stuff like SFAMFS. The hell? Start fast, accelerate middle, finish strong. Coach, you just want me to run hard the whole time. I get it. Why don't you just say that? PJ Fleck, weird dude. But we've all played for a football coach like this. I ain't even going to hold you. Everybody's played for a football coach that ain't nothing but cliches. This is Jimbo Fisher. If Jimbo Fisher watched way too many of those Instagram marketers, you know, the guys that wear way too tight of clothes, and they're like, hey, nerd in the back, Tyler, stand up. Ask a question. And then the kid asks a question. He's like, wrong from the start. No confidence. You're trash. You know why I get up? Yeah, that's who PJ Fleck is. PJ Fleck reminds me of that, but he's got a butler. That's weird. That's flat out weird. I see some fake toughness and some fake juice questions in the chat or comments in the chat. That is 100%. The vibe I'm getting, but it's not fake juice. I think he believes in this stuff. But again, man, it's like it's just overkill, bro. Some of this stuff is genuine knowledge. Some of this stuff is like life lessons, bro. If you're an 18, 19-year-old man, you need to pick up some of this stuff. You really do. You really, really need to pick up some of this stuff because it is like, it will make you a better man. It'll make you a more disciplined man, not a better man, but through your discipline, you will become a better man. You will become a more efficient man. Some of this stuff is great life lessons. But we do not have to do it the way this is done, right? We definitely don't have to have a Fleck bank, which basically is essentially, according to this reporting, we haven't even gotten to this. We got to the weird. The Fleck bank that they're talking about with this stuff is PJ Fleck's basically scoring system, apparently, where you can get away with stuff like mandatory drug tests, popping on the drug test with, smoking some pot. You can get away with it as long as you've been, getting boxes and gold stars in the Fleck account on the Fleck bucks by being a good person. So basically, from what I read, going to the children's hospital and doing charity gives you Fleck bucks. And you use the Fleck bucks to get away with stuff you ain't supposed to be doing. So basically, if I go help the kids with cancer, I can smoke a joint. That's wild. Honestly, I was probably an 18, 19-year-old college football player. We going to smoke the joint anyways. We might as well help the kids with cancer in order to do so without getting in trouble. So honestly, now that it's all come full circle, PJ Fleck, weird dude, but doing good. Doing good. Doing 75, going to stick there anyways. So yeah, there you go. PJ Fleck, weird dude. The Butler threw me off. We talked about this today on Patreon, and then I went and read the full reporting. Wow. You making folks clap for you when you walk in the building. You out here with the Fleck Bank. You out here giving away Fleck coins and rowing the boat with your Fleck bucks. A little weird, my man. A little weird. There's a bald guy on Instagram that wears super tight clothes. I mean, I can see man's nipples, and he does the marketing stuff. And I think he's hairless. I think he like shaves every inch of his body. PJ Fleck. I'm gonna get the social team. We don't have a social team. I'm gonna go back and like show you photo image. PJ Fleck. You know who I'm talking about. I don't lift weights to look good. I lift weights because you need to lift weights. You know who I'm talking about. Those guys, those types of dudes. Anyways, hey, more news today. Hit that like, subscribe, thumbs up button, all that good stuff. We're gonna get to Q&A, but I gotta finish cooking right quick. We'll be quick on this. Colorado leaving the Pac-12 for the Big 12. Guys, the Big 12, first of all, trying to be a super conference. They're going to have 16 teams. I got them down for 17 somehow because UConn's trying to get in the mix too. They're going to lose Oklahoma and Texas very, very soon. We know this. BYU, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, K-State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, West Virginia. Those 10 are remaining. They're at 12, okay, with Texas and Oklahoma leaving. All right, now they're going to add this season UCF, Cincy, and Houston. This season, they're playing with 14. All right, next year, they go down to 12, right? They lose Oklahoma and Texas. Then they want to add Colorado. They're going to add Colorado by 2024 per reporting today. And additional reporting said they want Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah to join them by 2024. So that'll be 16 teams in the Big 12. And I've spoken to a lot of people that think UConn's getting in this mix somehow. So that's 17 teams. I would imagine there's probably an 18th team that thinks they're in the mix here. Look, we told y'all on this network a long, long time ago that conference realignment is going to be crazy. It's not going to settle for a few years down the road. I remember telling you this when the Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC stuff came out. I was like, hey, look, guys, this is the first tectonic plate moving. And in order for there to be an earthquake, we need two of them to collide. And Oklahoma and Texas leave. That's one tectonic plate. USC and UCLA jump to the Big 10. Boom, another one. Collide. Boom. Now college football is all into an earthquake downspin or whirl spin, if you will. So we just got to wait and see. But I'm going to tell you what we don't need to wait to see and say right now. The Pac-12 is dead. The Pac-12 is flat out dead. I went through it today. There are 4 football teams right now in the Pac-12 that have been solid through this. I mean, like, ignorantly solid. Like, I got proof that mofo's cheating on me. I got the booby photos in the photo album to find it. I got the location tracking at the girl's house to know. I got him with the lying text message saying he going to work but ain't going to work. I know that mofo cheating, and I'm still staying with him because I'm loyal. I'm stupidly loyal. That's how loyal these 4 teams been. Washington State, Cal, and Stanford. Them 4 teams ain't shook. Them 4 teams staring down the red receipts with just, all right, then. That's fine. We're not going to do any better anyways. You know what? He do drive a nice car. You know, honestly, he was good to me when we started. That's what them 4 teams doing because they ain't going nowhere. Stanford and Cal might have a chance to go to the Ivy League, but I don't know what's happening to them. But there is clearly a Super 4 going on. A Final Four. There is a Final Four going on of college football programs and conferences right now, and the Pac-12 is getting left out of it, and them 4 teams ain't doing nothing. Oregon flirting like hell, and they should be. The only reason the Pac-12 has managed to keep Oregon around is because of the alliance and ties with Nike, obviously. Like, there's no need to worry to leave because we've got Nike, and that's fine. We can take a net loss in terms of opportunity cost with our TV deal being shit because that's most of the reason why these Pac-12 teams are leaving because their TV deal is shit. But I don't know what the conference realignment is going to look like. I know the Pac-12 looks like they did today. But The problem with them being out there on the West Coast, and the problem with the Big 12 making moves, the SEC making moves, and the Big 10 making moves, and the ACC sitting over there on their hands, is the fact that we got two coastal conferences going by the wayside. Hey, ACC, by the way, you don't start making moves, you're next. You're next. You want it to be a Big Two super conferences? No, we don't want that. We don't want AFC, NFC, college football, but y'all start making moves. That's what it's going to look like. So ACC need to do something. Pac-12, you already did. So there you go. Let's start kicking off some Q&A. Let's go all the way back up to the top. Remember, guys, 126 people in here right now. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe. Make sure you're rating, reviewing, all that good stuff. It is the last night in the traditional studio. I keep knocking on it because I want y'all to understand. Okay, so I'm sure we're going to address this at some point in these questions. I get so many people that tell me, Brooks, I want to do what you do. Brooks, I want to talk sports for a living. Brooks, I wish I could do what you do. I get so many people that do that. And I'm here to tell you guys, this was made from 2x4s and a couple of sheets of false board from Home Depot. I put it together in one night in my driveway, stuck it in my garage, put two cameras in front of me, and bought a $90 ATEM switcher from B&H Photo. It doesn't require anything but effort. Okay, it requires effort and a little bit of investment. It certainly requires a major time investment. I've put a ton of time into this, but in our last show, we are getting a little nostalgic because it wasn't much. It wasn't much, but it's about to be a lot. So yeah, Q&A going on tonight. It is non-football related. And this is a great transition right here from our boy Robert from the DGD podcast. What are you going to miss most about the old studio? So this version of the old studio, just the backdrop inside the new studio, it's been a nuisance. It's in the middle of everything right now. I'm not going to miss much about this. But there was something about that old garage in our old house. It was so sweaty, man. It was so sticky. You guys remember there was shows during the summer, particularly like film studies. I would be standing up in front of the board, and I started wearing black. Y'all notice I wear a lot of black. I started wearing black not because I'm fat and it makes me look slim, but I started wearing black because anytime I would wear anything other than black, if I wore gray or literally anything other than a dark color, I looked like I had jumped in a pool by the time the camera got back onto me in a solo shot because I was so hot because there's no air conditioning in that garage. I think I'm going to miss that like rawness. And I think I as an on-air talent will always have a sense of unprofessionalism. I will be raw. Some people would say I'm rough around the edges when it comes to my broadcast professionalism. So that will remain, but the idea of like worrying about whether or not I was going to sweat or whether or not by the end of the show my forehead was going to be like way too greasy, I don't know if I'm going to miss that, but I'm kind of going to miss that. So yeah, maybe that. Did you ever think you've made it that far? Sometimes people will say things like this. I don't think I've made it at all. I think I'm happy. I think I have I have made it. I shouldn't say that. I've accomplished my dream in the sense that I get to do what I love. It is my career, and I have a wife and two beautiful children that I love and love me back. So yeah, I love what I do. I didn't think I was going to make it this far doing this. Okay. I always knew I was going to have a family. Always wanted a wife, two children. I wanted one that looked just like me and one that looked just like her. We got exactly that for now. Riley's starting to look a little bit more like me day and day, but that's beside the point. Did I ever think I was going to be fully self-sufficient in this industry? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, guys. There were 2 or 3 years before I was even covering Georgia that nobody knew me, and I was doing a podcast that was getting like 46 downloads an episode. Hell no. I had 400 followers on Twitter when I started doing media, started freelancing in media. We didn't start on first base. Hell, we didn't even start on the damn dugout. We weren't even on a roster. We had to freelance all the way up. So no, there was no imagining ever of doing this. Do you promise to keep the new studio cleaner than the old one? Absolutely, because the old one was a garage, my boy. So yeah. How much are tickets for the studio tour? They're free if you're a homie. If you're a homie and I can trust you with the address of my home, they're free. They're absolutely free. And Adam, I've known you since I was like 7 years old. So yeah, you can come through. Sai says, covering the UGA beat like you do, would you say you're more of a Powerade guy or a Gatorade guy? It's a loaded question. I'm a Gatorade guy. I don't give a damn what Georgia's primary sponsor is. They don't pay me. Gatorade don't either. Hey, Powerade, if you pay me, I'll start drinking Powerade Zero on the show. But this Glacier Frost be hitting like nobody's business, cuz. If you ain't into that Glacier Frost Zero, it's a freeze, actually. I don't even know when they changed it from Frost to freeze. But if you ain't into that Gatorade Freeze Zero, Glacier Freeze Zero, I don't know what to tell you, cuz that boy be hitting. Hanging out with the guys and girls. Congratulations on your new space. Thanks, Lynn. I love when we have a female our female woman. I love it when we have a gal. I love when we have a woman on the show or in the chat. The demographics tell me you are few and far between, Lynn. Okay, we got stats on this sucker. We tend to skew about like, I don't know, 97% dude. So you're almost a 1%er, Lynn. You're a 3%er. But I bet the fact that you're here, you're a 1%er, no doubt. Lynn, the 1%er. That's what we'll call her for today. I know you say this is your dream studio, but what is your dream job? Like, would you ever become a coach? It's a great question from Georgia fan 224. So I used to think my dream job, if you will, in media was to work a national job, be on a national desk, basically do college football game day, right? Climb the top, be Kirk Herbstreit. And then I had kids, and I realized, and not they're already there, so that's their life. They get to live that. But me, for my life, the dream now is to make a living and be as present as I humanly possibly can while being insane about what I love to do. And I love to do what I do. I really do. I love being me, man. I love doing what I do, and I get to work really, really hard at it, and I get to be a great dad at it. So I'm going to tell you right now, what is my dream job? I think I have my dream job. I really do. It's why every up to something season, every off season, we swat. I promise you, we swat away national gigs. We do it. It's why we built this. It's why Monday, August 7th, we are starting national coverage. Because people wanted me to do national coverage, but they wanted me to do it under their umbrella, or they wanted me to move to another city, or they wanted me to remove my ties with Georgia, or they wanted me to remove my ties with it. Nah, fam. I got a dream job. I get to do what I want. I get to do what I love. I get to do everything right here. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it right here, baby. That's what we're going to do. So, yeah, I have my dream job. Now, you asked me about whether or not I would become a coach. I'm going to tell you this right now. And I told my mom this the other day. She came up to see the babies and help us around the house. She asked me about coaching. And I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I have spoken in front of 1,000 people at awards galas. I've stood on stages where you kind of got to do one of them to look through the lights to see all of the people. I've been on live streams with 3,000 people. I've done live television. I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this to tell you the uncomfortable places that I've been, the places that should make me nervous, the places that should make my butthole go, right? My coach used to say, quip. Nah, we ain't got to go into butthole tightness. But when you get nervous, you get it. Shout out Coach Williams. But I've done things that are supposed to make me nervous. I've spoken in front of people in areas and done things that are supposed to make me feel giddy. Boy, I'm telling you, there ain't nothing like talking to a football team. Nothing that makes me feel like that. I like shake and tremble. My voice cracks. My heart rate goes up drastically. And my hands are just like this. I feel like I just jumped out of an airplane. That's what I feel like, because I think that's not to get too far into. Hey, no, we're here. That's what we're doing. We're doing our football related questions. I think that's when you know you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like when you get like about something, Ooh, chase that shit. Ooh, chase that. Go do that. Do more of that. Yes, more. Go. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's probably where you're supposed to be. That's why that's why you see me take a bunch of leaps in the industry and a bunch of leaps with my product, and we try stuff and we reach for things, and we're really trying to reach into places that make me feel weird, that make me feel uncomfortable, that give me the willies, right? Like this massive investment into our product that you're about to see. Those things make me nervous, man. They make me giddy. And I think that's where we're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to chase. That's what you're supposed to pursue. And coaching makes me feel like that. So you ask me, am I going to do it? Yeah. And to be honest with you, I've already done it. I don't tell people because I don't know. There is no conflict of interest because I do it with, complete sincerity. I do it with a wholesome mindset. There's no bias, right? I'm genuinely, I'm addicted to helping young men with regards to football, impacting young men on the football field. All of us are. If we had people touch our lives in that place around that sport, it's our drug the rest of our life. If it has changed us, we will remain around it. And that's the way I feel about it. Lobster or crab legs? Crab legs for sure. Just because. What do you drive? A 2007 Honda Accord. That's a joke. But yeah, I drive a truck. Well, I don't know why I got to do that. I drive a Toyota Tundra. And yeah, it's fucking lifted. Hey, by the way, as we say around here, checks out. If you scouted me the last 4 years on this channel, he drives a lifted truck for sure. Yes, I do. Let's see here. Does Christian Kirby know he can moonlight as a detective with that mustache? Definitely. Definitely he does. Favorite person from MVP, Mike, Vinny, Pauly. Oh, Pauly D for sure. Right? If I lost my hair early, I would be a Vinny dude, but definitely not Mike. Mike can get out of here. That's a VP, dog. That's a VP. Mike, nah. Ain't no situations around here. Ribeye or New York strip, don't care. Just make sure it's pink. I don't want it bleeding. But I don't want it gray through, right? There's a fine line. I want it medium rare. That's what I want. Or medium. I don't want that thing. I don't want it. When I run my knife through it, I don't want to feel like I'm cutting tissue, but I don't want to feel like I'm cutting a hockey puck. That's all I care about. Where the cut is from, I don't really care. What has been the most difficult thing you've come across being a father? Oh, yeah, this one's easy for me. Crying. Let me tell you something right now. You ever been on an airplane? Baby starts crying. Are you one of the type of people that gets frustrated? Your blood pressure slowly starts to rise. I'm here to tell you right now, men, women, it'll change for you. Men listening to this broadcast, just because that child came out of a woman that you love and you adore that child and you would do anything for that child, when that child's ripping for 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 20, 30 minutes, it don't matter that it's yours. It does not. Your blood pressure is through the roof. So for me, me personally, the hardest part about being a parent, when them babies crying. When them babies is ripping, my blood pressure is just going ape shit. So yeah, no, I'm really, really bad about that. I told and it's something that I have to be better at. And we're almost out of that stage anyways. I had to become better about it. I was much better about it with my daughter than my firstborn son. I told my wife straight up, it was about 6 months into Carter being born and him being a baby, because they're babies. They are babies, guys. They cry, they shit, they eat. That's it. But they cry a lot. And I told her, I said, I'm not a great baby dad, but I'm going to be an incredible boy dad, girl dad. Like when it comes to raising children, I'm great. When it comes to fostering babies, I don't know. I wasn't great at that. So understand what you're good at and what you're bad at as a parent, all that stuff. The rest of the stuff, normal all that good stuff. Do you cook or grill out? I'm the griller. I handle all the meats in the family. I handle the meat. And my wife handles all the sides. So that's how we kind of do that. We kind of tag team. Would like to know the impact your wife had on the success you've had. She's the reason. I mean, I know a lot of people say that, but this is the real. Okay, we used to live in a 850 square foot apartment in Kennesaw, Georgia. When I first got out of college, she had a year left of nursing school. When I first got out of college, I was working construction in Marietta. She was finishing nursing school in Rome. The natural progression for us to live, or natural place for us to live, rather, was Kennesaw. It was, an area with plenty of housing, if you will, because there's a college town there. Wouldn't recommend it if you're a soon-to-be married couple nowadays. But nonetheless, a lot of crime randomly. When we lived there, it was a small 900-foot, apartment. We had a bedroom back off to where my left is right now. We had a living room directly in front of my little laptop setup and my camera that I got going on right here. And I had a podcast called Let Me Say Something. Don't look for it. You'll never find it. I've made sure it's been completely wiped from the face of the internet. It was horrible. And it started out with me and my friends from high school. Started out with us, me basically dragging equipment to their house, putting it down, and having show notes and show topics and handing them out, being a producer like I am now for myself, or have been for myself for years, handing them show notes, setting up all the microphones, doing all the audio tests while they're just, dicking around, doing whatever, not reading the show notes. That's for damn sure. And whatever. And we tried to do that for 3 or 4 months. And every single time I showed up, I could feel their energy decrease by 5, 10, 15%. To where after a couple months, I mean, it was, I don't even want to do it today. Like, nah, we're good. So I started solo and I said, fuck it. I told myself, no one is going to match my energy. So I have to be solo. I have to do these things by myself because no one wants to do this. I clearly want to do this. They clearly don't. No one else does. No one else believes that this is going to be something. So I'm going to pursue this relentlessly by myself. And that self-talk worked for about 6 more months. Started doing everything by myself, started podcasting by myself, started hosting by myself, started writing for Fansided, a website that, covered the NFL draft called NFL Mocks. And I'm starting to do all these things. And guess what? No one fucking listened. No one. No one cared. No one was there. No one listened. No engagement. Didn't have new followers on Twitter. At this point, I'm a year into this, a year and a half into this. I'm 18 months into this. Nothing. Nobody. And I'll never forget, every single time I ended the show, I would let out, my wife would be sitting in the living room directly across from us, like right here. She would be sitting over there. And she was so cute and so sweet. She would always have her headphones in and she'd be watching Netflix. And y'all have heard me on the show. I am a booming, like I boom through that. There's no way she could not hear me in what I was talking about. And every time she would know when I would end because I would shut the fuck up. Pardon my language. I would shut up and she would kind of, how'd it go, honey? And I would be so dejected because I was streaming on YouTube at that point. They're all deleted, by the way. You'll never find them. And I'd have like one person watch or two people watch. And every time my wife would be like, how'd it go, honey? And I was just like, man, I don't know. I felt like it was good, but no one watched and no one cares. And, woe is me. And just, I think I'm just going to quit. And I'd probably say that 4 or 5 times. I probably had said that 4 or 5 times. And every single time my wife would look at me and she'd go, I don't know. I think you should keep trying. And she'd just keep nudging me. And every time she would get me over that hurdle, if I want to quit, I'd have a breakthrough. Boom. Most downloaded episode, the next one. Every single time I'd get beat down, 2 months later, beat down. Like, God, man, when's it going to happen? Why? Blah, blah, blah. Just moaning, just complaining. I don't know. Think you should keep trying. Think you should keep going. I kept going. Now, there was a transition. I'm not going to lie to you. There was a transition between, hey, you've got some traction in this hobby job that you got going on. That's what we called it. That's what we called sports media for a long time for me, a hobby job, because I was working a career prior before this one got a career, right? I'm a decade into construction. I'm a project manager, making good money. I'm using my master's degree, right, in business administration. I'm doing what I was educated to do. And here I am, 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. chasing this dream, this sports. I'm gonna talk sports for a living dream, right? So we went from a position where, hey, you shouldn't give up, don't give up, to, God dang, where you been, husband of mine? Because you disappeared. You've been working 140 hours a week for 3 or 4 years. You mind coming back to me a little bit? You mind slowing down a little bit? So what has my wife been? My wife's been my biggest cheerleader. The Rock talks about an anchor, right? Having an anchor, not someone who's tying you down, someone who's tying you to, okay? Someone who's tying you to your purpose, to your place in this world that you are supposed to be, while this life of this ocean is just doing this to you the whole time. What is your anchor? So my wife's been my biggest cheerleader. She's damn sure been my biggest anchor. She has held me true to my purpose and my person the entire time. So what has she been in this point of success? She's been vital. She's been incredibly vital. Honestly, she's been the only person that believed in me, even when it wasn't me. Even when it wasn't me. I damn sure gave up on myself far before success came. So yeah, find you somebody that's gonna be staying down, my guy. Gonna be staying down, because that's what I got. I got a warrior. I got an absolute warrior that's gonna go fight for me. Did you play any sports beside football? Ooh, I love these questions because it gives me an opportunity to tell you how good I was. Hey, my senior year in high school, I love doing it. My senior year in high school, 10 years ago, my senior year in high school, I hit 431. 431, played the corner. Hot spots was the closer too. About 87 to 88 off the bump. Wicked hook though. I mean, my 12-6, make you shit yourself. We called it the yellow hammer. You know why? You see that thing? Yellow. That's a hammer, make you yellow. You know what I mean? Yellow hammer. That's what I had. So yeah, we're all right baseball player. I ain't even gonna act like I can play hoops, because here's how you know someone can't play hoops, because I was about to do it. If someone comes up to you and says, you know what, I'm a streaky shooter, but I'll play hella defense, that mofo can't play hoops. That's me, can't play hoops. But yeah, did play baseball, tried to play basketball. Favorite all-time movie? If it ain't Remember the Titans, you're wrong. Well, I'm fitting to be wrong. I don't know. I ain't watched a flick in a minute. You know what my mom and I watched the other day, just because, we need something in the background to laugh at? Little Man with the Wayans brothers. Go watch it. It's pretty funny. It's goofy as shit. So if you're expecting a serious movie, don't go watch that. But it is goofy. All right, you're asking questions about football. We're not asking that. Chicken breast or chicken thighs? Am I going for diet purposes, or am I going for preferences of taste? Because I need that thigh meat. You know what I mean? I need that thigh meat if I'm out here trying to eat good. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to eat clean, give me them breastises. Who's your favorite all-time athlete? Let's see. So here in the studio, we got Dale Earnhardt portrait. We got a Kobe portrait. We got some LeBron James stuff. We got a Mr. Krabs piece that I'm stoked to show y'all. It's my favorite thing in here. I don't know. 18-year-old me would slap the hell out of me for not saying LeBron James without hesitation. I've just kind of lost my lore for that one. You know who I really love now? Because he is me if I was actually good at football and not just above average at football. Excuse me. He's me if I were great at football. In my mind of minds, I believe in a different world with 3 more inches, I could have been Jason Kelce. I could have been funny and witty. I had an older brother who was cooler and more athletic than me. Yeah, I definitely could have been Jason Kelce, except he's the older brother. But nonetheless, probably him right now. Favorite athlete of current. Beach or mountain/lake? I'm a lake guy. I hate the sand. I think it's just the worst. Okay, 2 things in this life make me want to, I don't know, I was going to say punch a baby in the face, but 2 things in this life that I despise. A wet sock. Wet socks are horrible. And like sand in my crevices. As a big man, we got lots of crevices. I hate sand. Get out of here with that nonsense. Let's see here. Having a second kid later this year, we'll have a boy and a girl 18 months apart. It's exactly what I got, except they're about 25 months apart. Any advice? Um, I'm assuming the boy is the older one. All right, and the girl's the young one. Make sure he understands the word gentle. If you have any young pets or like pets around the house, that's a good way to introduce the idea of being gentle. Young boys had to have a tendency to they kind of do that. Like you can see toddlers doing this one all the time. And it leads to them like spazzing and throwing shit and like hitting real hard or like squeezing. This is just an opportunity for me to flex on camera. You get what I'm saying? They have a tendency to kind of spaz out and not really know what gentle is. So I would like be emphatic about the idea of gentle. But I would also make sure that you're not speaking to one differently than the other. I, as a parent, I have adopted not a monotone voice, but it's flatlined. Like on air, y'all see me have all these highs and lows, and I'm a very energetic and emphatic human being. With my kids, it's very much matter of fact. They need you to speak to them, not through them, not above them, not below them. They need you to speak right to them. Just give them what they need. That's what I have found. And my daughter, the second one's always going to pick up things faster than the first one because they actually get to see something, right? They get to see what it's looking like and not you trying to do that, So hold on. That's all I would say. Just hold on and enjoy it. I know everyone tells you, like, enjoy the ride, all that goofy stuff, all that parenting stuff. That stuff's real. It happens so fast. My daughter's already won. What's the workout plan, bro? How many coaching jobs have you turned down in the past year? My workout plan right now is stay off the alcohol, and that's been incredible for me. I've lost 50 pounds doing that. As far as when I start working out again, I'm going to get into circuit training. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm going to pick like 4 workouts, meaning, hey, we're going to have bent rows over here in the corner of the gym. We're going to have an incline bench press set up, right? So we're going to do a push and a pull. And then over here, we're going to have weighted step ups, and then maybe some ab station, right? And we're just going to cycle through that station, those 4 weights, those 4 things for 40 minutes. And however many times I can put a slash on the board, we won that day. Okay. I have found that for me, it's not necessarily, I'm never going to look like the GQ model. That's clear as day. It's important to move. It's important to do all that. But for me, it's more of a mental battle. I don't want to run anymore. I think it's bad for my joints and some other things that we're not going to get into. But when I do circuit training like that, it's just me versus the clock, there's so many times at like minute 35, you've done 8 rounds and you're like, fuck 9 rounds. We got 5 minutes left. I'm just going to slack off on rounds 9 and 10, and we're just going to get through this. And I found that the more and more you deny that's all that the point of working out is. That's it. Just how to beat yourself, how to beat your self-talk, because self-talk sucks, man. A lot of self-talk is really, really bad when you're working out. You can quit. Hey, bro, at least you did it. At least we're here. Trash, losers mentality. So that kind of stuff, we're going to get into that. How many coaching jobs have I turned down? I don't turn down a lot of coaching jobs. I turned down a lot of, hey, we'll pay you 60 grand to come be a recruiting analyst. I'm like, bro, I got kids, bro. It ain't about the 60 grand. It's about the, hey, we got to go move our family. I'm going to work 110 hours a week and I'm going to make 60 grand. And by the way, we're going to Wichita, Kansas. Like, nah, fam, that's not rolling around here. All right. The wife is not taking that up. I have found that I think the coaching and college trail has kind of passed me by. The opportunity for that is probably in another life, which is fine. I'm good with that. We're going to coach the hell out of some high school football one of these days. Make sure you're hitting that like button. I know we're doing a little bit different tonight. Let's see here. What's your favorite? What is your favorite from over the last 3 years, or a specific moment that helped you get to this point? I think you meant my favorite moment, Jonathan. I don't quite get it, but I'm going to answer it anyways. Favorite moment or specific moment that helped you get to this point? There's a lot of bad moments. There was a lot of time in my first, I would say, year, maybe 2. first 2 years where a lot of the people listening to this probably heard about me through negative comments about me on other boards, a lot of which were lies. That's probably my least favorite part of this, the self-consciousness that comes with actually becoming something or in a space like this. I'm not something. It sounds so fucking self-indulged when I speak like that. When you enter a space, anything in life, and you start to make waves, the folks that already made waves ain't gonna like that. No, not at all. If they're anything like normal humans, the normal human reaction to someone entering your space is to make sure that they don't get a lot of breathing room. There was a lot of that. That was hard. Some of it self-inflicted. I didn't do a great job, but man, it's still to this day, it's a little bit different. I don't know if y'all notice. Maybe you have over the years, but it is a little bit different for me. That was tough. So the only reason I speak about that is because the specific moment that changed is when I just stopped caring about that. Man, it's really, really hard to like be productive when you're thinking about all the negative shit that other people are saying about you, or if you're looking at what others are doing. It's so hard to control what you do, particularly when you produce as much content as I do. You really, really can't be worried about what other people are doing. So my favorite moment in my career so far has been that kind of like, I'm just gonna do what I can do. I'm gonna do me, right? I'm Me by Lil Wayne. We reference that song all the time on this show. Go listen to it. That is the definition of just being you, bro. Not worrying about nobody else. Last year they had the Grammys. They left me in Miami, sleeping on me as if I was rapping in my jammies. Whew, bar. I'm talking about bars. So yeah, good stuff there. Great question. Y'all asking football questions. We not doing football questions. Not doing football questions. Let me get down here. Let's see here. Over the past few years, what are some moments or things that you hold dearly that come from your work? There is he's watching tonight, so it's gonna be really weird. There's a note on my board from Jonathan. Jonathan got to go to the national championship with me this year. It was both of our first time covering the national title in person, and seeing that that I've gotten to a point in my career where I can help others have career moments. That shit to me is dope, man. Like, it's so hard to make a career or make a pathway in this industry. It's really, really hard. And I've managed to do that. And my next goal, and I'm kind of accomplishing it already, but my next goal is to make sure I can create a career path for others. Because that's awesome, man. I'll tell you a story. Okay. My boy Fisher Brewer. I'm okay telling this story because I love this young man. I love him. He covers the University of South Carolina for our SI network. And, I got to hang out with him at SEC Media Days, and I got to give him a little wisdom, like give him a little life. Like, he's asking, like, hey, what's the key? That kind of stuff. He's like seeking knowledge. And I see, since conversations with him, I could see very distinct changes in who he is and how he's going about the pursuit of this career. That shit gets me juiced, man. That shit gets me energetic. That's way more fulfilling to me in this career than Kirby Smart interrupting an interview, which is dope. That was confirmation for me. That's what that was, if y'all weren't paying attention. Kirby Smart walking into my press conference or my interview with Ben Jones and being like, you know what I mean? Being a dude, like having fun, that's confirmation for me. But watching somebody observe me or respect my work enough to observe me and then take from that and learn and grow and then turn around and say, hey, man, dude, I am inspired by being around you this week. Fuck yeah, dude. Yes. Hell yes. That gets me juiced. That's my favorite moments about my career. Watching Brandon Carroll go with us out to Elite 11 and being like, you know what? I cover the Florida Gators. As soon as I get home, I am putting the wheels in motion to start a YouTube page. I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to stop sitting on my hands. No one wants to do it with me. I'm going to do it I'm going to do it solo. That gets me juiced, baby. We get to go through the rest of it, not even worried about it. We get to work our next 95-hour week with no worries about whether or not we're going to manage to have the juice to do it. Because that stuff, that stuff gets me hyped, man. That stuff gets me hyped. That stuff I hold absolute near and dear to my heart. On top of all the relationships, like, oh my God, the relationships with, the man that commented right there. I got like lifelong friends that I've met doing this stuff. That's dope. That's dope too. But when I watch others take from me and be like, you know what? I like the way he did that. I'm gonna do that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna ask how he did it. Right? We got other people. We got other people that we're not gonna mention because they might work for major companies. So yeah. When did you come to the realization you had to go all in on the studio? Took an interview for another job. It was a national correspondence gig. And I realized it wasn't something I wanted to do. I realized there were businesses, but homes that I had built that would come crashing down the moment I did something like that. And at this point, it's not to say it's bigger than me, but it is bigger than me, right? I take a national job somewhere. What happens to Jonathan Williams? What happens with Christian Kirby? What happens with Evan Crowell? What happens with people I care about that I've managed to help, that I've managed to get here? What happens to them? Their future is not certain, so that impacted me. What happens to my Patreon family? What happens to my Discord? A place that I do love. I love that Discord place. I have found, like I said, I have found lifelong friends there. It is very unique to this business. The fact that we are a family, that we are there. We do talk all day, every day, like a family group chat. That is unique to this business. And if I go somewhere else, I got to leave that. So there is as we've spoke about, and as very clear by most of what we talked about tonight, there is an admiration for more in me. There 100% is. There always will be. But it's got to be the right more. So if we want to do national content, guess what? Build the damn studio in your home and do the national content. You don't need a national company. You don't need them. Build it. Build it. You want to start talking about Colorado and you want to start making fun of PJ Fleck and his weirdo tendencies to make people clap when they walk into the room, do it. Do it. You wanted to cover college football anyways, and guess what? You did it. So do it. Like I told you earlier, oh, Brooks, I just want to start. Oh, Brooks, I just want to do what you do it. Do it. Go do it. Do it. So that's why. Why did we build a studio in my home? Why did I invest my entire life savings on this product that you're going to see August 7th? Do it. Do it. Just do it. That's what my mindset. I came back from that meeting, came back from that interview, and all I could think about was, why do you need them? Why? Why do you need them? Hopefully I don't. Maybe one day I do, but today is not that day. It is not that day. We're going to ride out, my boy. So, yeah, there you go. Let's see here. Will there be a potato in the new space? Maybe. There's a lot of space in the new space, as the folks on patreon.com/Perks Austin got to see. I'm glad to see DJ Kylie that your son Cannon is drinking Gatorade Zero. I think we're working out Sunday. That's right. I train quarterbacks. Bet you didn't even know that. Bet you didn't even know that. Yep, I do it for free. Bet you didn't even know that. Bet you didn't even know that. Now you do. Now you do. Why? Because I love it. Because I love it. I love this game. I love this impact. Who's your favorite Patreon sub and why? Probably you, Klesko, because you asked the question. Let's see here. Do we got any more good ones? I don't think we do. So if we don't, we are going to go to our final question of the night. Oh, actually, we have one right here. Do people know how much you love working with kids? Oh, it's ironic you hit this. Do they know how much the kids love you? See you soon. Thanks for the super sub. Thanks for the question. Thanks for bringing it up. No, to answer it all, I don't even think like, and it's not the point. It's not the point. The recognition is not the point. But do kids know that every time I show up, when my camera is out, that camera is going to every single coach that's in my phone book that's now over like 100 deep? No. Is it good that they don't know that? Probably. Do my bosses know that I do that? No. Do they care? No. Does it make me money? No. Do I sell that information? No. Do I have college coaches all the time be like, damn, bro, all the stuff that you give me, you should charge for that? Yeah. All the time. Do I do it? No. Because I do believe that there's a sense of karma in this world. There's a sense of energy. There's a sense of juju in this world. You put out good shit in this world. You put out good energy, put out good vibes. Hopefully this world will take care of you. If you do the right things, hopefully this world will send it your way. And so when Dan asked me, hey, can you help my son? No. It's, hey, let's do it. Yeah, let's go. No, I don't need money. No, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. I want to coach. I want to do this. I want to try. I've never coached a single kid to throw a football in this lifetime. But guess what? I can throw the piss out of a football. I'm self-taught. I figured it out myself. Big fat offensive lineman throwing the piss out the football. How's that possible? He figured it out. So if I can figure it out, I can probably teach somebody to do it. This is what I want to do anyways. I want to coach. I've been studying the position for years. By God, I sat down, and one of the reasons people know me is because I had the balls to criticize JT Daniels' throwing mechanics. Guess what? Rice University. I know a little something. So if I know a little something, I got to give a little something. I got to give a lot of something. So do people know? No, but they're not supposed to, right? They're not supposed to. I don't think they're supposed to. Because I know, Dan, I'm speaking. There's a lot of people here. I'm speaking to you right now, and I'm sure your son's watching. I don't need the flowers from that because I feel it when Cannon's with me and when Cannon's working out and he throws the ball correctly and the ball comes off and it has life like it's supposed to and it feels the way it's supposed to. When that light of that beam hits his face and you can see it in his eyes, he's like, shit, I just did it. I'm good. We're good. We don't need nothing else. We don't need nothing else at all as long as we get that spark, that, oh, whoa. As long as we get that whoa moment, man, we're good. We're good on that the rest of our life. What's up, Pick? We got JD Pickle in the chat. Shouts out on 3. Shouts out the snap count. Shouts out my boy JD Pickle. Do we see Brooks Austin on the road this year somewhere that's not a Georgia game with the national content? Yes and no. So yes, because every Friday night we're going to take camera crews to the biggest high school football games in the state of Georgia and beyond. We're going to hit that. We're going to hit the state of Alabama this year and see a good football game, maybe twice this year. But I have like 20. Yeah, we got a list of like 27 football games that we're going to hit this fall. And we're taking a camera and a microphone and mics and everything with us. So we're going to be producing national content, if you will, out there. All right. I got some closing words we got to finish with tonight. As you guys know, we have a closing message at the end of the show every time from now on. We used to not have intros. We used to not have a schedule. We used to not have an outro. We used to not have a lot of things. We used to have a studio. We used to have a microphone. There was a time where I was doing a show with just the laptop microphone. We used to have a backdrop. There's a lot of things we used to not have, like a meaningful close. And by God, we're going to try to have one of those the rest of the times we do that. So tonight's message. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the difference between endurance and perseverance. This gem comes to you directly from my boy, Chris Milton. Of course, the father of Kendall Milton, running back at the University of Georgia. Chris gave me this gem back in February, or at least I heard it from him back in February during a rather impactful time in my life. So I wanted to bring it to you. And the quote goes, endurance is giving 100% when you know the finish line. Perseverance is going 100% without a determined end. Look, there is value in this life in sprinting through the finish. There's a bunch of like well-known, we got to finish cliches, right? Finish the drill, finish strong, finish the day, finish. People will tell you about finish all the time. Okay. And that's great, but that's endurance. Okay. That's endurance. That's knowing where the end is and gearing up to accomplish that goal. That is what endurance is. I see the finish line. By God, I'm going to sprint through that. I know where the finish line is. I'm going to strategically make sure I have an ability to finish strong. That's endurance. Endurance is great. And I'm going to be honest with you. Here's the problem. Nothing in this life comes with immediate gratification. Nothing. It's not going to happen quickly. Nothing you want in this life. You want to get in better shape, doesn't happen quickly. There is no finish line to being in great shape. There's not. It's going to require perseverance, not endurance. Okay. You want to climb the corporate ladder? Guess what? That's not quickly. That is not immediate gratification. It doesn't happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. In fact, it requires perseverance. You want to start a YouTube channel and maybe one day make it a career talking sports. That dream right there, that doesn't happen quickly. There is no immediate gratification on that. In fact, you don't know when the milestones are going to happen a lot of the times on these trips. Okay. The finish line when chasing your dreams, it feels far more like a horizon than it does a checkered tape. You understand me? The finish line when you are chasing greatness, when you are chasing your dreams, when you are chasing something big, it's undetermined. It is out there. It looks like the horizon. It does not look like something you can sprint and checkered finish through. That is not what this is. You don't need endurance. You do. You do need endurance. You need to identify goals and all that stuff and finish through that stuff. That's great. You do need endurance, but that's not what you need in fully to accomplish your dreams. You need perseverance. So people will ask me listening tonight, Brooks, that's great. Awesome speech, but how in the hell do I even have perseverance? How do I find it? How do I establish it? How do I make sure it's within me? I will tell you right now that perseverance is found in the process. The moment you decide and you make the choice that you are going to fall in love with the process and not the results, the moment you fall in love with the process, that is the moment where a finish line will cease to exist on the pursuit of your dreams. You understand? Get rid of timelines. Get rid of finish lines. Find perseverance. Find out how to run as hard as you freaking can all the time. The milestones will come. We'll see y'all next time.